my memory, haven't seen a corporate scam from any large cap index stock of this magnitude, where the promoter has come out and confessed that all that we've heard of the last many years is a complete fabrication and a lie. I'm not surprised that the stock is down 28%. I'm surprised that transactions are happening in Satyam today, because the guy who's buying at 128 is ascribing a value to Satyam, knowing fully well that the basis of any kind of valuation for Satyam may be completely fraudulent and fictitious, and the cash which he thinks is on the books does not exist today.
On 7th January 2009, the chairman of Satyam, Ramalinga Raju, resigned, confessing that he had manipulated the accounts of 7,000 crore rupees in several forms. The global corporate community was said to be shocked and scandalized by this admission of fraud and crime. The news came as shocker because Satyam was big, well-respected firm, employed more than 50,000 employees and operated in 60+ countries. Satyam was seen as the prime example of an Indian success story. Its financials too were perfect. The firm was worth $1 billion in 2003 and crossed the $2 billion mark in 2008. It was showered with accolades from MZ Consult for being a leader in Indian corporate governance and accountability, the Golden Peacock Award for Corporate Accountability in 2008. Mr. Raju too was revered in the industry for his business acumen and was awarded the Earnest and Young Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2008. Satyam Computer Services was founded in 1987 in Hyderabad by brothers Rama Raju and Ramalinga Raju. The name in the ancient Indian language Sanskrit meant truth. The firm began with 20 employees offering IT and BPO services across various sectors. The initial success of the company soon led to it getting listed and opting for an IPO in the BSE in 1991. Post this, the company soon got its first Fortune 500 client D-Ray & Co. This further allowed the business to grow rapidly into becoming one of the top players in the market. Satyam soon became the fourth largest IT software exporter in the industry after TCS, Wipro, and Infosys. So what exactly happened with this firm that started the downfall of one of most promising IT firms? Late in 2008, the board of Satyam decided to take over Mitas, a real estate company owned by Mr. Raju. If you think about it, this is almost in your face audacity to just reverse Satyam name to Mitas. This did not sit well with the shareholders, which led to the decision being reversed in 12 hours, impacting the stock price. On 23 December, the World Bank barred Satyam from doing business with any of the bank's direct contacts for a period of 8 years. This was one of the most severe penalties imposed by the World Bank against an Indian outsourcing company. The World Bank had alleged that Satyam had failed to maintain documentation to support fees charged to its subcontractors, and the company also provided improper benefits to the bank staff, or in other words, bank staff was bribed. But were these allegations true? At this point, Satyam was India's crown jewel. Well, just 2 days later, Satyam replied, demanded the World Bank to explain itself and also apologize, as its actions had damaged Satyam's investor confidence. As the investors were still coping up with the failed acquisition of Mitas and the allegations by the World Bank. On 7th January 2009, the markets received the resignation by Mr. Raju and along with it a confession that he had manipulated accounts of 7,000 crores rupees. Investors and clients all around the world were left shocked. This just couldn't be happening. In order to understand the scam, we would have to go back to 1999. Mr. Raju had begun inflating the quarterly profits in order to meet the analyst expectations. This was the year where Satyam downfall was written. This is where it all started. Mr. Raju used his personal computer to create a number of bank statements in order to inflate the balance sheet with cash that simply did not exist. The company's global head for internal audit created fake customer identities and fake invoices in order to inflate the revenue. This, in turn, would allow the company easy access to loans, and the impression of its success led to an increase in the share price. Also, the cash that the company had raised from the markets in the US never even made it to the balance sheets. But this was not sufficient for Raju. He went on to create records for fake employees and would withdraw salaries on their behalf. The increased share price drove Raju to get rid of as many shares as possible and maintain just enough to be a part of the company. This allowed Raju to make profits from their sales at high prices. He also withdrew $3 million every month as salaries on behalf of employees that did not exist. But where did all this money go? Although Raju had set up a great IT company, he was also interested in the real estate business. He set up a real estate company called Maitas and diverted all the money to it. But unfortunately, all the real estate bets he took soon tanked, leaving him with lot of losses in real estate. Also, with almost a decade of manipulation of the financial statements in Satyam led to the hugely overstated assets and underreported liabilities that was now getting difficult to hide, as nearly $1.04 billion in bank loans and cash that the books showed was non-existent, and this is point where Satyam bubble busted.
He says, and I quote again, "The balance sheet carries as of September 30th, 2008, inflated cash and bank balances of 5,000 crores and accrued interest of 376 crores, which is non-existent, an understated liability of 1,200 crores on account of funds arranged by me, Ramalinga Raju, an overstated debtors position of 490 crores as against 2,650 crores reflected in the books."
On 7th January 2009, the chairman of Satyam, Ramalinga Raju, resigned, confessing the crime. 2 days after the confession was made, Raju was arrested and charged with criminal conspiracy, breach of trust, and forgery. The shares fell to 11 rupees and 50 paise on that day compared to heights of 544 rupees in 2008. The CBI raided the house of the youngest Raju sibling, where 112 sales deeds to different land purchases were found. The CBI also found 13,000 fake employee records created in Satyam and claimed that the scam amounted to over 7,000 crores rupees. Spotlight was turned on PwC as well, their auditor as well, one of the big fours of not being able to detect a fraud of such length. It is surprising how they did not notice 7,561 fake bills after auditing Satyam for almost 9 years. Suspicion grew more when it was found out that they were paid twice the fees for their services. Satyam was eventually sold to Tech Mahindra for 1/3 RD of its value before the fraud was revealed after several companies bid on 13 April 2009. On 4 November 2011, bail was granted to Raju and to others accused. In 2015, Raju, his 2 brothers, and 7 others were sentenced to 7 years in prison. This was the story of rise and fall of a firm that could have been global force in today's market, but greed played the better hand. Hope you liked this video. For more such, do like, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more such videos.